I guess it's like we're here. We're still not finally here because there's been no official announcement or anything like the final details haven't been released as of yet. But it seems we're at the juncture that we were supposed to be at a couple of years back, and it hasn't washed off for myself as to when it was first initially announced. I remember I did a podcast for the then outlet I was with, and I raised the concerns that there were concerns for both fighters, even though it was more about Eubank Jr. and the rehydration clause. There were still concerns about Ben and coming up to the weight and it being at a weight he'd never fought before. Now, Ben has had a couple of bouts in and around super welterweight, but still not at middleweight and still not against a fighter who you would imagine would maximize every pound of the 170-pound hydration clause that's been levied against him, which he's agreed to as well. I should add that in there. And that is a concern. That is a risk that Conor Benn is accepting to get the fight over the line. And even though a lot of kind of the tide of favor might have turned away from Ben off of the back of the failed tests that he had, I still think that it still should be raised, that concern of a fighter that's given away that weight, because I wouldn't call them a fully fledged super welter nor a fully fledged middleweight, nor heading towards someone who's a catch weight of 170 on the night, you'd imagine. So definite concerns on that end. I don't have any concerns as to whether this will be promoted and sold well, because both fighters have been able to keep the interest going, although maybe hardcore boxing fans have been a little bit fed up of everything. Casual boxing fans will still have the interest, and the lapsed boxing fans who followed their father's careers will still follow the interest. Whether they're both involved is another thing. I'm not too sure if that's the case. Certainly, Eubank Jr. hasn't had his father at the hip in the last few fights, although I think Harlem Eubank had the attention of his uncle in his corner, helping him with his previous fights. But no, the fight will sell. The fight will sell well. I just, I don't know. I wonder how Eubank Jr. will approach this in that, and how the promoters will promote this, because before you were selling the fight off the back of their feud and their family feud, now it's become a bit more personal from Eubank Jr.'s perspective, because for his perspective, he's called Ben and Eddie Hearn, rats for trying to get the fight over the line, I guess, the first time around off the back of those failed tests, as he puts it from his perspective. So does Eubank Jr. stay silent on that? Is Eubank Jr. going to sell the fight on the back of this person he feels might have tried to wrong him, and he's going to serve justice on fight night? Is he able to speak like that? Eubank Jr. is very much someone who won't hold his tongue, hasn't held his tongue, and it's got him into hot water. So do we see that feud being sold on that basis? And that's a bit of a weird territory for me. So I guess I anticipate that, and I look forward to seeing if that is the case. Eubank Jr. himself sells a fight in a way that, even though it's quite understated and different to his father, he's still very good. He's a very good foil to Conor Benn, and always seems to be able to get under his skin. So that sort of thing, I think, they very much got that side sorted. I just wonder how, and I guess I know how hardcore boxing fans will take it, but casual boxing fans, I think, will really enjoy it. And whatever stadium it is, wherever it is, I think it will do very well.
I'm just going to go to the chat before I introduce this week's poll, and then I'll give my kind of take on the fight, Ben Eubank finally being over the line. Ramoni Mode XD says, guess who's back? I am. Didn't really give us much time to guess there, mate. Eridar Boxing TV says, hey, seconds out. I don't know if he meant it in that way, but I like The Sopranos. That's what I'm going with. David Warren says, pair of spoilt Nepo babies. But as I asked him just afterwards, he was talking about Eubank and Ben, not myself and Eamon. Thunder Road says, close to 50 watching before the start. I mean, there's actually over 70 now. And only 3 likes. If you aren't a bot, hit the thumbs up. We don't discriminate, Thunder Road. If you are a bot, hit the thumbs up. Show what AI can really do. Ramoni Mode XD says, Bridge pulled out as he was offended by KSI's comments about his ex-wife and John Terry. We will be talking about that in segment 3, when I will be leaving Eamon for a bit and probably inviting Josh Hart on to talk about the Misfits realm, because it's definitely not really my scene. Thunder Road says, Eamon still rocking the man bun with a massive smiley emoji. So that's good. David Warren says, not a big fan of either of them, but I'm hoping Eubank humbles the drug cheat. We should point out that Conor Benn was cleared, quote unquote, by the WBC and has had his suspension lifted by a national anti-doping panel. So to call him a cheat may not fall within the realms of acceptability anymore. Blue Tech 97 says, Bridge just looks stupid in this whole situation. Quite embarrassed for him. He doesn't need to get involved in YouTube tear-ups. I'm sure he's been more embarrassed in the past. Thunder Road says to Ramoni Mode XD, is that really the reason? The whole segment was way too WWE, but unless it was written in the contracts, his past and personal life are fair game, in my opinion. Ronnie Road XD says Wayne's released a statement on it. We'll be showing that statement a bit later on. Blue Tech 97 says, I doubt SecondsOut even knows who JT26 is, lol. Ouch. Who do you mean by SecondsOut? You referring to me specifically? Eamon? Who? We're all football fans here. Beautiful Golden Dragon, welcome back. He says, Grey Dad and Capote back at it. Spotty team Josh is locked out. Josh Hart will be joining us for segment 3, as pointed out. Thunder Road says, even Josh Hart wasn't born Hart, knows who JT26 is. We'll check with him later because he'll appropriately enough be joining us for that segment. Jay Sharp says, Eubank should get this over easy with the fried egg emoji. No idea what he could be referring to there. DB Coop 1, I'm so disappointed in Eamon. I told him to apply for the Ring Magazine YouTube vacancy months ago, and he got beaten to it by Lewis Black Eye Hart. Yeah, well, let's not go in too much to Lewis Hart jumping ship, although I think it was a sinking ship, perhaps, that he deserted, you could say.
Speaking of black eyes, though, Danny, I got dropped with a body shot for the first time in my life today, and that was a new pain I discovered. Terrible.
So you got dropped or you got troubled?
I got dropped.
Ooh, who by?
Spencer McCracken Jr.
Oh, well, a proper boxer, you know.
Yeah.
I think that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been dropped by a body shot. I've been hurt by a body shot from a really good amateur before, but yeah, I haven't sparred many pros. Yeah, I mean, there's no disgrace there at all. In fact, Spencer McCracken Jr., you want to watch out, son. I'll be coming for you. Just kidding. I really won't. Thunder Road says, no DB Coop 1 for consecutive weeks in chat. I mean, he's one chat above you, Thunder Road. Has he jumped out of another plane? Well, let's hope not. Ramoni Mode XD's told him. He's just replied before you, so they've all sorted that out. Ramoni Mode XD says, the Ring Twitter said Okoli is fighting Luis Ortiz. What are your guys' reactions? It's not definitely fighting him. They're in talks, is what the tweet said. And yeah, we'll see if it actually happens. Good fight, I think, for Okoli. Maybe not for the fans necessarily. I'm not sure how well those styles will mesh. Oh, Lewis Hart's joined us. We're blessed by a denizen of the Ring magazine in the chat today, folks. Lewis Hart, here we are. We are here. Lewis Hart, the only question I've got for you is, are you running the Ring magazine social account now? Are you the new Michael Benson? Because if so, you need to start putting our links in, mate, or we're going to fall out. Thunder Road is, oh no, he's still talking just to DB Cooper 1. So let's get the poll up nice and early. Mod Father Vinny, if you can. We're asking you, what will be your reason for watching Chris Eubank Jr. against Conor Benn? Is it A, because of their dads? And I'll be talking about them in a minute. A lot of our audience might be too young to have watched Nigel Benn and Chris Eubank Sr. in their primes. Is it because of their beef and the controversy that has reigned in the last 2.5 to 3 years? Is it because of the fight itself? Do you think it's a really good fight? Or is it the fact that you won't be watching the fight at all?